Shit the fuck I'm talking about. Niggas keep on feeding the birds. See how I have it. Hey yo, if God made anything better than me, he must have kept that shit for himself. Must have kept that shit on the shelf, tucked away from humanity. Cause I ain't met a nigga that can stand with me or gain up, handle me, slaughter your family single-handedly, laced with profanity, never structured romantically. Like to keep my sanity, seeking refuge in a lick-soaked fantasy. These words I wrote frantically, triple over time, scribble sober rhymes. Fuck little girl, I poke older dimes, brainwashing older minds. I charge during your reloading time, bayonet jammed in your larynx, screams sound like clarinets. This sexual predator fiends for the fairest sex, darts from my heart steam as they tear your chest. The demon's alive, he's wearing flesh, daring death. And he be having niggas falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing, falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing, falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing. I step back and I kept busting, falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing, falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing, falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing. I step back and I kept busting.
Machine gun funk, the Mossberg blast. Do you like the old days? Tie fire to your ass. See, we ain't on no trench coat mafia shit. We just taking classes, majoring in know how to get rich. Life's a bitch, then you die round here. We don't resort to petty crimes round here. So I don't believe a lot of when niggas all caked up. The way you be out cannons and shoot your whole face up. Vietnam concrete jungle flow ain't a thing for us. Niggas trying to flip and count money till we get paper cuts. Hammer on this industry door to make a way for us. Youngins out here dying for nothing cause they ain't making much yet. I gotta give a shout out to Virginia Tech. All the 32 victims, I gotta pay my respect. That foreign exchange student had some Hollywood clips. Thought he was the Terminator and started emptying shit. And niggas
falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing, falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing, falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing. I step back and I kept busting, falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing, falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing, falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing. I step back and I kept busting. I'm a few sandwiches short of a picnic, a few cans short of a six-pack, and judging by your chick's back, I'm a few sperms short of a testicle. She say my dick sort of delectable. Always been the sort that's respectable, a stand-up guy, but life will make me put your hands up high. I ain't playing tough guy, hard times to make a man bust five. In this land where them handcuffs strive, Marcus handcuffs wise, till my anatomy expands plus size. Reading vibes cause I can't trust eyes, forever skeptical, a full-blooded intellectual, a genius that can never be susceptible to false prophets. Raining fire over lost topics, lock and load in assault cockpits, commandeer planes across tropics. Rap terrorists, slaps therapists, and embarrasses fags till they hope perishes. I scan streets and scope terraces, stomp pansies and grope heiresses, split families and broke marriages, and left faggots tied in their basement, and now they seeking your replacement. Got niggas falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing, falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing, falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing. I stepped back and I kept busting, falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing, falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing, falling and yelling and pushing and screaming and cussing. I stepped back and I kept busting.